What's going on? This your big homie Joey French, live here at Aire Born Studios. You tapping in the producer's credit with straight. Dang. What's going on? This your big homie Joey French, live here at Aire Born Studios. You tapping in the producer's credit on straightofficial.com.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy J Mill with TenthLetterMedia and StraightOfficial.com. We celebrate hip-hop, lifestyle, and culture. We're bringing you a brand new feature to the magazine. It's called The Producer's Credit, where we actually go out and comb the streets of Naptown and highlight more of the producers and engineers that we have here in the city, man. I'm actually sitting here at Aire Born Studios, located in the back roads of Naptown. Sitting here with my man Joey French.
What's going
on? How you doing today, sir?
Good, man.
Good to finally link back up with you, man.
Yes,
I know it's been a long time since we linked, man. I know we got a crazy story behind that. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I want to go ahead and, just give our readers a little bit of background on yourself, man. Tell our readers, a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the game, man, and what exactly you do here at Aire Born Studios.
Yeah. So first and foremost, born and raised here in Indianapolis, Indiana, from the northeast side, excuse me. Went to Lawrence North High School, and then went on to Vincennes and then Bloomington, Indiana at IU. And just been producing for about, I want to say, close to almost 11 years now in the game. First, placement that I got was with Waka Flocka Flame on Flocka Belly. I produced Rumors. It was actually a bonus track on his album.
Okay.
So that kind of like got the momentum going, and then from there, got placement with ESPN and CBS Sports, and then just a ton of television networks. So
okay,
here we are today.
Hey, okay, so what was it like working with Waka Flocka during that moment in time, man? I know he was a hot hours around that time. He had a lot of high producers working on his project. So how was that like for you coming in and be able to work on that type of project?
Yeah, so I wasn't really like familiar with them. I was familiar with the single, "Oh Let's Do It," but really him as a person, I wasn't really familiar with him. So I actually got the placement before I met him.
Okay.
And so, but when I did meet him, he kind of gave off the vibe somebody you would have met down in college, and he just had real good energy. And again, like he just kind of embraced me. Once I let him know I was the producer to the record, definitely him and his team, they welcomed me in with open arms. So like Walker, you just like real cool, like real down to earth, real chill.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, somebody you would have met down in college somewhere, man. So
just real down to earth type person.
Just real down to earth type person. And like when he would do shows here, him and his bodyguard, rest in peace to Cello, my manager and Cello, they would chop it up and they had good rapport, so it just made it easier to kind of get access to Waka. Sometimes as producers, especially when you're a new producer, it's like you gotta like tap into an artist vibe and just kind of go from there. But unknowingly, he catered to my vibe, and then Kieran said I wanted to tap into his world, so it was just kind of like a mutual, like I just want to work with this person. So like I said, man, it was no pressure, it was real organic, and that's what you wanted to be. So
tell us a little more about your background. Like, what exactly made you want to get into producing? Because a lot of people tend to go like towards different fields. They tend to go towards the DJ or the artist. The producer tends to kind of get not as much attention. So, what were some of the things that drove you to kind of get into this industry?
Yeah, so I started out at a young age at my family church, playing in church.
Okay.
My family, they were in church all the time. So it's like, if you're gonna be there, it's like you got to find something to keep you interested. So, started out playing drums at the age of 3. For formal training, my parents put me in middle school band. So I was in middle school band, and then I was in high school marching band as well. And then I say it was about my junior year, I was part of a program. It was called DAVE, and that stands for Digital Audio Visual Editing.
Okay.
And so they gave us access to cameras. They gave us access to the audio board. Nothing extensive like this, but they had access to it. So I definitely went to town on that thing, and that year, my junior year of high school, like articulating to my parents, hey, I want to be a music producer. So after I graduated, got my first piece of equipment, and it was just one of those things where probably about a month later, and I was just around Indianapolis streets, just anybody says studio, I'm coming with my equipment, and just really being eager to be around other people, but also being around
man. Go ahead and get into the story of how I actually met this man for the first time. So a few months ago, I was actually working in water restoration through a company called Roto-Rooter, and actually got called out to a basement that had flooded out, and come to find out it happened to be Joey French's home studio that he had. So can you tell us a little bit of the story behind that background as far as what happened with that in regards to the flooding, and did that kind of slow you down a bit, or?
It did slow me down a little bit. It was like the day before Thanksgiving, I believe. And I went downstairs. This had to be like maybe 4 or 5 in the morning. You know, I had planned on working on some mixes that day for a couple clients. Just wanted to get a good jump start. The best time for me to work is early in the morning like that. You know, that way my ideas are fresh, my brain is fresh, ready to go for the day. So that was what that situation was. When I went down there, I kept thinking like, man, like, okay, the floor is wet. Now maybe one of my kids had dropped some water. Great, okay.
Yeah.
Came back, as I kept walking, it's like puddles now. Puddles. Once I got to the laundry room, there we are. Flooded. It flooded. So, called Roto-Rooter. They came out. First couple guys came downstairs. They noticed all my equipment. You know, asked me questions as far as like, do you do music? Like, what do you do? Like, I got, you know, everybody's like their cousins or big brothers. A&R is like, you know, I got a cousin that rap, a daughter that sing, and
right.
You know, so it definitely was that, which is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you had came by, you had noticed it as well. But definitely, you let me know like what you were about and what you do, and we've just been rocking ever since.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's just crazy how months down the road, here we are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Out of your dried out home studio, now we're sitting here in Aire Born Studios.
Yep.
So when it comes to production, man, like where do you draw a lot of your inspiration from? Like, you know, when you're actually preparing a track or preparing a beat, like where do you draw inspiration from?
Yeah, you know, believe it or not, it's not even from music, it's from movies.
Really?
Yeah. So movies kind of give me that inspiration because I'm able to mute the scene and able to create the soundtrack or to be able to create an emotion. So I started doing that probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago, just as a different approach to my music. Because again, it's like when you just stick with one thing for so long, it could kind of, you know, drown you out. You know, it could burn you out a little bit. And so I need to figure out a different approach. What kind of inspired that was beat block. You know, getting writer's block. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and act like I have like this ultimate poise about, you know, I'm that producer, I can get it done. And no, like sometimes I do have like those inspiration blocks or beat blocks. So I had to switch where I'm getting the inspiration from. And so once I started watching movies and understanding the scene and like really like digesting what I'm looking at, I would mute, create, and just try to create the emotion. And then from there, that might spark some ideas, and then now I'm able to finish out and follow through.
Okay. So what's your favorite movie soundtrack of all time?
Favorite movie soundtrack of all time? Soundtrack of all time, I'm going to have to go with... Man, that's a tough one. You know what? Shout out to my kids. I'm gonna have to go with Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah. Welcome to the Spider-Verse.
I think the multiverse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually caught that movie probably like a month ago. That's a pretty dope soundtrack.
No, like, and as I get into more television and film and commercials, a lot of those sounds, you know, I'm very familiar with. You know, so it's just and again, it's one of those projects where I can listen to from top to bottom without stopping it. You know, of course, my kids are notorious for don't stop it, don't skip it. We want to hear all the way through.
Right.
But it allowed me to like really like digest the soundtrack. I also throw Black Panther in there as well. Yeah. Black Panther soundtrack.
Very dope soundtrack.
Kendrick Lamar, the whole TDE team, like shout out to them. Like they executed that well from top to bottom. The cast of artists that were on that soundtrack, just the whole texture of the soundtrack, like it really like spoke to the times.
All right, so let's shift gears here, man. Let's just talk about the great divide when it comes to entertainment and what we do and what you do as far as music and entertainment. Like I said, it seems like the producers are kind of the person that's like on the outside looking in. In regards to the entire process. So, what are some things that you have done to kind of change the narrative in regards to that, to kind of get the producer or the engineer more recognition?
Yeah, really, just one word: being proactive. Being very like proactive in every step of the way, which that's what a producer does. It's like that's the person, he or she sees it from top to bottom. So if I'm sitting down with an artist, like really being engaged with them, like really trying to figure out, okay, what's the vision for this? What storyline are you trying to tell? How can I make that soundtrack come alive for you? So really just being there every part of the process. You know, we're in a game now to where it's like you have the internet producer, you have again, most producers are introverts by nature, but again, at some point you have to put that to the side and like really be in the forefront, because again, you don't want to play the blame game at the end of the day. If the project goes well, it's on you. If it doesn't go well, it's on you. And like I said, along with being proactive, you have to be mature. You have to have accountability as well. It's like you got to stop in and tell that artist, like, hey, I didn't like the way you sung that part there. Let's get it again. You know, and then also understanding the roles too, the difference between what a beat maker is and what a producer is. You know, so really just being the captain of that ship, knowing when to delegate. You know, because sometimes like people get it twisted that the producer is the person that I'm the boss, I run everything. But I feel like the producer is more like a team lead, the person that knows how to delegate to a beat maker or to a musician or to a writer, like this is what needs to happen like in the music. So we're working as a team, so a team sport.
Absolutely. So is there any future projects that we can look forward to from yourself, Aire Born Studios?
Yeah, absolutely. More television and films. I can't really like speak on, but you're gonna see definitely and hear a lot more of that. UG Skywalking, we have his Kid from Africa project we're working on. Okay. We have Devin Goder. I'm also working with a list of songs for a couple artists as well. We just had the 2K Baby record that just came out. Shout out to DJ Danny, he was my collaborator on that. So yeah, How I'm Living, that record's already out. You guys can check that on YouTube. I'm never not working, so yeah.
Definitely sounds like it, man. Again, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely glad we had the chance to link up after all this time, man.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's been great, man. But if you want, man, we can take another break here, man. But when we come back to Producer's Credit, we're actually going to sit down with Mr. French and some of the music that he's got going on right now. So again, thank you for tuning in. It's your boy J Mill with 10th Letter Media and StraightOfficial.com. Welcome you back to the Producer's Credit here on StraightOfficial.com. It's your boy J Mill with 10th Letter Media. I've been kicking it here with Joey French, man. Again, man, it's been a great time coming out, man.
Pleasure's all mine.
Appreciate you having us come out tonight, man. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor over to you, man. You want to go ahead and give your shouts out to our readers and your followers, man? The floor is all yours.
Absolutely, yeah. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to the producers community, all you songwriters, engineers out there, artists all around Naptown. You know, even if you're not in the city doing your thing, y'all putting on for the city and other markets as well. So definitely shout out to y'all. Hats off to you guys. And, you know, if I can leave any advice to anyone that wants to get into this business, definitely keep a great attitude. Understand your opportunity. Take control. Be prepared in the midst of opposition or challenges that may come your way. Maintain a great attitude. Definitely work a full day. Work a full day. You don't want to play the blame game, so put all that you can into it and be timely with your work as well, because nobody's going to wait on you. So just remember those things. Shout out to TenthLetterMedia for the interview. C3 Photography coming through as well. Peace and blessings to you guys. Have a good one.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. But first, we're going to go ahead and let Joey French rock us out with some new music, some new exclusive stuff, man. So, I'll turn it over to you.
Appreciate y'all.